What's up? Welcome into another daily Buckeye Blitz. I'm Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you 7 days a week. It don't stop. It don't quit. Today's Saturday, August 27th, 2022. On today's show, we're going to do the show. If you're new to the Buckeye Blitz, this is just a 5-minute kind of podcast slash video, depending on where you're digesting it from. Available everywhere, so just do a quick search and you'll find it. So today we're talking Ohio State winning the national championship. How does that look? I'm going to tell you why Ohio State will win the national championship. That sounds better, right? Bert, I hope you're getting your weekend started right. About time to pour something into a glass over ice. Here we go. This is why Ohio State will win the national championship. I'm going to go around the position groups and give you my breakdown. I'm not comparing this team to other teams like Alabama, Georgia, whoever. I am going to tell you by position group what needs to improve. Just in a vacuum, this needs to be at this level for us to be better, to win the national championship. So here we go. Quarterback. Okay, apparently PFF thinks that C.J. Stroud is the fourth best quarterback in the country. Yeah, I know. You think they're doing that for clicks? Fuck yeah. Yeah, they got old Spencer Rattler 3, Caleb Williams 2, and Bryce Young number 1. So maybe that will add a little fuel to CJ's fire. And I think we don't need to see drastic improvement. Obviously, CJ is one of the best in the country, but we do need to see gradual, some incremental improvements across the board. Ryan Day has said as much. He doesn't need to see one area improve, just incremental at every category. So Phil Steele has CJ ranked first in the country, by the way, for comparison's sake. I always lean towards Phil. So just my opinion. Running back room. We need to see, obviously we got we're down a man with Evan Pryor going down with the ACL, but we need a consistent game to game, week to week, 12 regular season games and into the playoffs, a consistent Travion Henderson. Short yardage, whatever it might be. If Mayan's coming in, we need to use him in short yardage, whatever it might be. We need consistency out of that running back room, and we need to not go for 250 in one game and then go for 85 in another game. We need some consistency. And especially, like I said, I've touched on this in previous blitzes, short yardage and red zone offense. Got to convert those. And you got to remove those mental errors, those little penalties, like the fourth down at Penn State at the goal line. You can't have that false start, Trey. Can't have that. So that's where, if we're better in that area, that gets us closer to the trophy. O-line. Now, this O-line is, in my opinion, definitely better than last year's. And I think you could make the argument that when Matt Jones went in for Thayer Munford, when Munford was injured last year, the offensive line was better. That's just my opinion. Tell me if you disagree. But PFF has him ranked first. Phil Steele has him ranked third in the country. Again, mental errors and penalties. You got to remove that shit. I'm talking to you, DeJuan Jones, Michigan game, Penn State game. You got to negate those pre-snap penalties. You too, Luke Whippler, whatever a false or a illegal snap is, I still don't have an idea of what the definition is of that. So let's remove those mental errors and penalties. And this offensive line, I have no issues across the board. Paris Johnson Jr. is finally at home in his left tackle position. He was built and trained for that. We finally have guards at guard positions, with Matt Jones and Donovan Jackson. Donovan Jackson, a 5-star, first-year full-time starter. We're going to see some road grading out of him. Luke Whippler, just making improvements across the board. And DeJuan, like I mentioned, remove those mental errors and we're good to go. Tight end group doesn't really matter because we never fucking throw the tight ends. Just block on the running plays. That's about all I got to say for you guys. Sorry. Wish it were different. That's why we'll never get a 5-star tight end. Anyway, wide receiver room. This one has a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. Brian Hartline said the other day he has 6 that he trusts. So is he going to rotate all 6? Or is it just like a 3 to 4 man rotation? Or I mean, a 4 to 5 man rotation, something like that. I think you do, as offensive coordinator Kevin Wilson and obviously Ryan Day, you got to use creativity to get JSN in one-on-one matchups. Teams are going to be focusing on him. They're going to be doubling him. So you're going to have to, much like Alabama did a couple of years ago with Devontae Smith, you're going to have to maybe run him out of the backfield, get him on some of those crossers where you can get a rub off from another wide receiver. That sounds dirty. So creativity, getting JSN. Then I know that we saw Marvin Harrison in the Rose Bowl. Got to remember that secondary for Utah was banged up. They had a running back playing fucking corner. So we need to see it on the field against good competition week in, week out from Marvin Harrison Jr. And then the big question mark for me from a starter is Julian Fleming. What's his health like? It seems like he has this trick shoulder that keeps popping in and out. I mean, I don't know how you can be a freaking starter if you're going to pop your shoulder out every time. Sounds like a hard way to catch a ball with one arm. So can we get consistency in the health category for Julian Fleming? I hope so. He's dealt with a lot of shit, so let's see it on the field. And across the board, we need to see it from all these guys. And if they're going to rotate in a Mecca and Jaden Ballard, is he going to be our JMO, 9-route guy? Maybe that's it. Maybe, we have certain packages, certain plays for Jaden. So Phil Steele has him ranked 2nd in the country. Not sure how USC is first, but yeah. Anyway, let's see it. Flipping over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, this is where we've talked about it at length on this show and every other show probably. These guys are returning 82% of their total defensive production. You might say, Joe, what's 82% of shit? I would say shit. So, but there are bright spots. I think the scheme is going to put guys in place to be better and to be consistent and add some attack to the defense, where it seems like the last few years they were just resting on their heels, and waiting for the action to come to them. So I really think the scheme is going to change this defense night and day. So D-line, we have Phil Steele has them ranked 5th, and they're going to have a heavy rotation. Larry Johnson says he might have up to 12. Not sure that's 100% accurate, but I would say 8 to 9 at least, and maybe 10 up the middle. D ends, D tackles, everybody. But again, we need to see a healthy Teron Vincent. We need to see Tyleek make his steps. He's lost some weight. That's good. And then Mike Hall, I think you're going to see a breakout season from him. And then where's Ty Hamilton fit in? So there are a lot of guys there at that position group. And I think JT and Jack are going to be the leaders and really show the improvements across that front 4. So linebackers, Phil Steele has them ranked 18th in the country. They do have a full season of experience, so I think that's going to help to see and lend to consistency in their play across the board. So Eichenberg and Steele Chambers, I think you're definitely going to see improved play out of them. And then that's my laundry alarm. In the secondary, Phil Steele has ranked 14th. We need to see a full season of a healthy Court Williams and Josh Proctor. I think that will help. And how do they utilize these guys in different packages, like we talked about, bringing in Court Williams instead of a 3rd linebacker against a run offense and a big formation. And then at the slot, Cam Martinez / Tanner McAllister, who's going to be the leader there. And I think both can get the job done. It's just a matter of who's the starter. And at the outside corners, you got Denzel and Cam Brown. Cam Brown, again, need to see a full season of the healthy Cam. And I think Denzel has the other side locked down pretty pretty much across the board. So that's all I got for you. That is how the Buckeyes will lead their way to the championship. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.